I think it is very, very important to be here and to demonstrate that cities, local governments for whom we are working as ICLE in particular, are ready to take up the challenge of implementing now the Paris Agreement. This COP here, the Marrakesh COP, is not about negotiating an agreement anymore. The agreement is there. We now have to discuss how to implement that. And I think that it's fair to say that local governments must have their place and their importance into this implementation phase. And I would hope that countries, when they are discussing how to implement their nationally determined contributions, their own action plans, that they will include local governments and cities from their countries in that. Because cities and local governments can really bring not only action, but demonstrate also that they can reduce emissions and therefore can contribute to keep us on the path of 1.5 global warming increase only. When it comes to local governments, as you well know, the access to the multilateral funding mechanisms, such as the Green Climate Fund, the Adaptation Fund, are not yet there, totally in place. So we are lobbying, we are advocating that local governments and cities, regional governments can also access those funds, and that the nations would support that the multilateral funds would also be allowing that a window for local governments is created. So that is, I think, is going to be a very important but also challenging discussion, because the money that is available is nonetheless, one should say, still very, very limited. If you think of what the real work and investments we have to do in a rapid urbanizing world like in which we are living today, we have to increase our efforts on resilience and adaptation. That is very clear. So I think there is still too much a discussion about reducing emissions, about decarbonizing. Absolutely, of course, essential. But we should not forget, we have now already a 1 degree global warming in which we are. And we are soon to go towards 1.5. What is on the table and the implementation of the Paris Agreement by the contributions of the nations do not indicate that we will go on a track of the 2 degrees. So we have to do far more. But that is also why we have to do now adaptation plans, resilient planning, in particularly at the local government and city level, because that's where the centers of population are based, right? So we have to do far more, and it is our job also to promote this idea that to include resilience into development planning of cities. Infrastructure, transportation modes have to be changed at the one hand, at the other hand that they are created in such a way that it is adapted to this ongoing global warming that we are having.
Thank you very much.
You are most welcome. Thank you. Thank you.